In this mini lesson, we're going to be talking about collage. Here you can see an example of a collage where the shapes, the letters have been cut out and glued together to create a collage. Collage is any materials that you glue into different arrangements and create your artwork. Here we're going to pick up our supplies before we get started. So some of the things you might want are a variety of construction paper, could be magazines, photographs, newspaper, any different types of paper that you want to put into your collage. Finally, you'll need scissors. Here I have some regular scissors as well as some fancy scissors. This one is called picket fence, and you can kind of see there's an interesting edge. So you can use fun scissors as well. And then we'll pick out glue. So you got to find out what works best. I have the liquid glue as well as a glue stick. Now, your first step in creating your collage is actually to choose your base. So you'll choose your base piece of paper and then cut or tear shapes that you'll add to that base. You'll want to arrange them or even rearrange them till you get the look that you want and you're happy with it before you glue them on. Then you'll want to find your way to attach the shapes. Now you can get creative with that, but today we're going to be using glue. Now I have a base here, and anytime you are cutting shapes out, so if I have this piece of paper that I want to cut shapes out of, I want to make sure I don't just cut it out of the center. I want to cut out of a side or edge so that this paper is still able to be used by other students. So I think I'll cut out a nice circle. So I'm going to keep it near the edge and cut that out. I'm actually going to cut it off so that it's kind of nicer for the next person, and then finish cutting this out. Now these little scraps, the tiny pieces, can be just tossed in the trash. Or if you're going to find a way to use them, that's fine too. The big pieces we will save in our scrap box so that others can choose from them when making their own collages. So whatever I choose, I have a few extra pieces that I cut out already, and I want to decide how to put these on my paper. A reminder, as you're arranging them, overlapping your shapes adds interest. So finding ways to put some underneath and some on top creates some depth in your picture. Now, this is abstract, so we don't have a recognizable image, but you can also make landscapes or people out of your collage. It's really up to you. Now I have some neat torn edges, and I can kind of control how I tear my paper to create zigzags or interesting shapes that I can use in my collage. Now I lucked out, this one already has kind of a neat edge. So I'm going to just keep arranging till I find that I like them the way they are. Now for purposes of speeding this up a little bit, I'm just going to demonstrate the glue and then let you get started. So once I have things where I want them, if I'm using liquid glue, make sure you twist it open. We only need small dots. If you have a larger shape or a larger piece, you'll just need more dots, but you still want to keep your dots small. So a few small dots, glue it down. A few small dots, especially in corners or edges, that can be important. And then I'll glue it down. If you're using a glue stick, so I guess I should remind you, twist, 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 wipe, wipe, wipe. Make sure that's clean so that it's not dried up and clogged for the next person. If you're using a glue stick, be careful not to turn it up too much. We just barely want it sticking out. I'll put a little glue on here. Twist my glue stick down a little bit and be sure to get those caps on tight, again, so that your glue stick does not dry out. Now if I arrange things, put it on. I got a quick one to show you. Make sure you put your name on that paper. That is also very important. And class. An example to show, you can see different types of paper, different shapes cut out, some torn edges, some cut. Now this one actually uses a texture plate before it was cut out and glued on. So you can kind of get creative with how you decorate your papers beforehand. Texture plate. And then final steps, you can always embellish your picture, which means adding a few extra details. So here with drawing materials, so chalk or pencil or crayon or markers, or even gluing a little bit of yarn to make some interesting texture in your artwork can be a nice added bonus.